What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York, invading California for Namm 2020, and we are here with Hugo of Beyond Creation. Thank you so much for your time today, man.
Thank you for your interest, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's so awesome to have you here. You just did a kick-ass demo earlier today. But one thing I was really curious about is what I find unique about your bass playing style is your use of utilizing hammer-ons and a lot of guitar-driven techniques. Were you trained as a guitar player before moving on to bass or something like that?
Not exactly. I like to play guitar too, for fun. So I started as a bassist, and I got a guitar a year later. So I kind of implement some techniques from both instruments. I started playing drums a year later as well, so I try to play some percussion technique as well, like slapping and stuff. So yeah, like I said, I try to combine as much techniques as possible.
Because I've noticed you're because bass, it's very rhythmic driven, but it's also very melodic driven. It seems like you hit the best of both worlds with that, right?
Yeah, definitely. With the fretless bass acting kind of as a mid frequency instrument, it's easier to cut through the mix with these melodies and different kind of techniques.
Now, being that you play in both Beyond Creation and Equipoise, I feel like, there's a lot of similar elements. There's some differences. You guys did tour together. God bless you for the double duty, that tour. But is it a different mind frame playing with Equipoise and Beyond Creation, or is there a similar approach to both projects?
It's definitely different in a way. Equipoise is a lot faster and a lot more technical. Beyond Creation tends to be, at least for the latest album cycle, a lot proggier and more ambient. So it's cool to play both in the same tour, especially, so I really get to experience both stage experience and yeah.
Now, one thing I was really curious about is being that Algorithm was your first record with Beyond Creation. When you joined the band, were you looking at the catalog previously and being like, this is what I have to do, this is what I have to play, or did the band want you to bring a little bit of your own mix to the...
I was really into playing previous bass player Dominic stuff because I'm a huge fan of his composition and techniques. So for me, it was not a question that I was gonna play his lines. There was not really a discussion about what they wanted me to perform as part of the older catalog, but I'm sure they would have been open to it.
And I have two more questions for you, but when it comes to playing your material live, especially because your music is so very technically driven and you're a lot of movement, a lot of different elements. When it comes to playing live, is there a similar approach to the live presence as you do when you're writing the music or even practicing it, or having a crowd there, it makes the live presence just a completely different game?
I think it's really, really different. I mean, if you're just practicing or writing in your bedroom and stuff, it's really more quiet and personal environment, and you have everything to make you feel comfortable, like coffee or visual cues that make you feel really, I don't know, safe and grounded. In a live situation, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and there's a lot of people, there's a lot of movement, so it's really different. It's just as fun, but it's definitely more entertaining to be on stage and be prepared to react to anything that can happen,
And the final question I wanted to ask you, we talked about the bass playing style, but what is your weapon of choice?
My bass,
Yep.
I play a Kiesel Vader 6-string fretless.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of amps, pedals, or anything?
I use the Axe FX2 for live because that's really easy. But in the studio, I use Neural DSP Dark Glass Suite. Yeah.
Now, kind of going back to the style, you said, do you use the bass that you use because it best suits the style of music you play, or it's the most comfortable? Why do you use the gear that you use?
There's multiple factors. There's a really nice sound I can get from the Vader with the active preamp that's installed on it. And I really like the Swamp Ash and the chambering. It makes it a lot lighter, and the 5-piece maple and purple hardneck is really stable for touring, so it's all these factors combined. Yeah.
So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time. Is there just anything else with Beyond Creation that you'd like to promote that you're allowed to say?
We're going to be in Europe this year for a couple festivals, so we're really looking forward to that and hoping to catch up with our longtime fans that's been waiting for us. So, yeah.
Well, Hugo, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Everybody, we are here with Hugo of Equipoise and Beyond Creation. Algorithm, pick that up if you haven't already. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.